At number 10, Amanda Lepore. I love unapologetic people. I find it so refreshing when people are truly themselves and aren't afraid to hide anything, and I think that's what I like the most about Amanda Lepore. Amanda Lepore is a transgender model, performer, and now author who made a name for herself in Hollywood just by being herself. She's known for having a very signature look, and she's basically become a living Barbie doll. Much of Amanda's body has been altered over the years, as she claims to have the most expensive body on the planet due to all of her surgeries. It's not clear how much she spent exactly, but judging by how she looks and the fact that she's been calling her body the most expensive on earth, I think it's safe to say that she's invested a lot of money into herself. She's written and talked about all the procedures that she's had done, and it's quite a long list. She's had a nose job, her hairline lowered, her eyebrows lifted, double eyelid surgery, cheekbone, lip and breast augmentation, gender confirmation surgery, hormones, and she even had her ribs broken and reshaped to alter the size of her waist. Amanda prides herself on being a living Barbie doll and really doesn't regret any of her procedures, even though they were all very expensive. At number 9, Kylie Jenner. Kylie Jenner has gone through many transformations in her life. As you all probably know, Kylie is transgender, and her transition most likely set her back a pretty hefty amount. While we don't know the exact amount that she spent on her transition, I think it's safe to say that no amount of money even compares to the feeling of having your outside appearance match who you are on the inside. There have been some people out there who have really been curious to see exactly how much Kylie has spent on her plastic surgeries over the years, including her confirmation surgeries. It is estimated that Kylie has spent approximately $76,000 on her cosmetic surgeries. Between fillers, facelifts, and a handful of other procedures, a lot of money has been invested into Kylie's appearance, and the fact that she's dished out $76,000 on these kinds of things shows that she will go to great lengths to make herself look as perfect as she pleases. Again, it is a lot of money, but I can imagine for Kylie, it's worth every penny. Now, before I carry on with the list, I would like to take a moment to ask you guys to consider leaving a like on this video if you're enjoying it so far, and also head on over to my gaming channel, Viper Girl, if you're interested in gaming content. I've got lots of fun things going on over there, so go check it out and subscribe while you're there. At number 8, Justin Jedlicka. Imagine spending over $1 million on yourself, and I don't mean shelling out $1 million on clothes, shoes, and a nice car. Justin Jedlicka, known as the real-life Ken doll, got famous because he received so many plastic surgeries and has spent so much money achieving his goal of becoming a real-life Ken doll. For him, the more plastic he looks, the better, and really that is the exact goal. Justin was on the show Botched very early on in the show's first season, making his debut in the series' first episode. He said that he's received over 1,000 surgeries to achieve the look that he has now, and there's no sign of him stopping his transformation anytime soon. As for how much he spent, well, there's no exact number since his procedures are always happening, but Justin has said that he's invested over $1 million into his looks. Could you imagine spending all that money on plastic surgery? And would you guys ever do something like this? Let me know down in the comments.
In at number 7, Bentley and Lamborghinis. It's a no-brainer that someone as rich as Cardi would own tons of luxury cars. If you had any doubts that she does, I'm here to end that. Because Cardi owns tons of lavish cars. One of her most lavish cars is her orange Bentley, worth $240,000. She bought it in 2017 after her first single went viral. But the crazy part is that Cardi doesn't even have a license. And when James Corden inquired about why she, buys cars, she told him that she liked to pose with them for photos. I guess you do anything for the gram, right? Another incredibly expensive car she owns is a Lamborghini, and her and Offset actually have matching ones, with Cardi spending over $500,000 on both combined. But we actually know the specific number, because when someone called her out for leasing the cars, she clapped back with the receipt showing the insane amount, bragging that she paid cash for all of it. And I would tell you that amount, but I literally can't say that, I don't know how to speak numbers anymore, so sorry guys. It's a lot of money. In at number 6, Lola Bunny diamond chain. For her Coachella set, Cardi went all out. But truly, what more could you expect? She apparently spent $400,000 on a diamond encrusted Lola Bunny chain. And her jeweler even spilled the tea that the purchase was not impulsive, and she was actually eyeing the chain for months before going ahead with it. However, because she waited so long and actually ordered the piece only 5 days before the festival, it was rushed like crazy and probably brought the price up too. But the chain looked amazing on her and added to the performance, so it's worth it for the fans. But keeping on the topic of Coachella, Cardi actually spent so much money on her Coachella set that overall the performance was a loss for her. In an interview with SiriusXM, Cardi revealed that she was being paid $70,000 for each of her 2 Coachella performances. But But since her setup and all the aspects of her performance equaled to $300,000, she lost money doing it. And while Cardi was making $140,000 for her entire Coachella gig, spent at least $600,000 to perform. And usually I would think that's the most insane thing ever, but it is Coachella, which is one of the most known and respected music festivals in the world, so obviously she wants to impress, and I think it was her first one too, so you gotta go all out. Halfway number 5, her looks. As I'm sure a lot of you ladies watching know, being a woman is expensive, and there are tons of things we need to spend money on to look our best. Literally this past weekend I spent $300 to get my hair done. Got my roots touched up. I'm not saying it's smart, but it's necessary. I just have to do it, you know? And apparently Cardi once admitted that in order for her to keep up trends and look her best, she spends $300,000 a month, which comes out to $3.6 million a year if her monthly spending is consistent. And I can't even come up with the words to describe how insane of an amount that is. However, Cardi has been open about the fact that she is no stranger to cosmetic procedures. So I'm sure that's where the bulk of the spending comes from, but that also apparently includes clothing and jewelry as well, so you know, that's racking up the bill a lot. In at number 4, Offset's presents. For Offset's 28th birthday, he was gifted something you probably won't expect, and that was some cold hard cash, with Cardi giving him a whopping $500,000 in neat stacks inside of a fridge. Apparently Cardi revealed that she didn't have to give him all that money, but she said she ran out of gift ideas and wanted him to buy himself whatever he wanted. And honestly, you know, I wouldn't mind this kind of present. Like if someone doesn't know what to get me, cash is always better than like gift cards. I hate when you get a gift card and then you just like forget about it and never use it, or that's at least what I do. Yeah, never get me gift cards if you're gonna buy me a present.
At number 3, Michael Jackson. The late Michael Jackson lived a hugely successful life, and he was known for a lot, from his music to his stage presence to his looks. Over the course of his career, Michael's appearance changed drastically when he got into plastic surgery. After going under the knife a few times, he was left looking nothing like his past self, and this took a lot of money to achieve. So much so that he ended up in debt because of it. It has been reported that Michael has spent over $1.5 million on plastic surgery. Some of the procedures Michael was known to have received include a nose job, skin lightening to match his vitiligo, as well as reshaping his jaw and altering his lips and eyes. In the end, his physical appearance changed drastically, but his talent remained the same, which is really the important thing here. At number 2, Heidi Montag. Heidi Montag became a star when she was cast on the MTV show The Hills, and since she became a public figure, there was soon a lot of pressure to look a certain way in the industry. Looks are always considered as one of the things that keeps your career afloat, and so there's a lot of pressure to look perfect. Because of the insecurity she was experiencing, both from being a public figure and from her doctor, Heidi ended up going under the knife for 10 plastic surgery sessions in just one day. She got so much work done that the trauma was too much for her body to handle, and she actually flatlined for 1 minute while on the operating table. After all that, when she re-emerged with her new look, people criticized her heavily for it, and Heidi even saw parts of herself as botched. Now, I think the worst part about this whole mess is the fact that she spent so much money on this whole transformation. It is believed that Heidi spent around $10 million on her plastic surgery, and it was all for her just to say that she didn't like it and for the public to make nasty comments. If I spent that much money and I didn't come out with amazing results, I would have been so mad. And finally, at number 1, Kris Jenner. Everyone knows Kris Jenner as Hollywood's hardest working momager. She's been able to raise and manage her kids, helping them grow into the big stars that they are today. The Kardashians are all considered trendsetters when it comes to their looks, so obviously Kris had to join in on the fun, right? Like many of her kids, Kris has undergone a handful of cosmetic surgeries over the years, and she's also shelled out quite a bit of money for it as well. It's been reported that Kris has received a breast augmentation, chin lift, neck lift, facelift, lasers, Botox, and other injectables to create the ageless person that we see today. And all of this comes with a hefty price tag of $70,000. That's a lot of money to turn back time, but Kris looks pretty good and she clearly has the money to do it, so who am I to judge?
In at number 10, Ryan Seacrest. Ryan Seacrest today is worth over $350 million, so you know his house is going to be crazy. After a roller coaster of price hikes and price chops, Ellen DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi finally sold their enormous compound in Beverly Hills to Ryan Seacrest. According to a report from TMZ, the house was listed on the market for $49 million, which is way undervalued considering that she purchased the home in 2007 for $29 million, and then over the next few years she actually bought up the surrounding mansions. This then expanded their already massive compound to over 24,000 square feet, but cost them around $50 million. The 9-bedroom property features a 9,200 square foot main residence, a pool, and multiple guest houses. In at number 9, Tiger Woods. After the whole Tiger Woods cheating scandal, he and his wife got divorced in 2010. Around that time though, he also finished remaking his home on Jupiter Island in Florida, which included a backyard practice facility for his golfing. The incredible thing about this estate is that it sits not too far from the Intercoastal Waterway with the Atlantic Ocean on the other side. The home was purchased for around $40 million, which included 12 acres and the 9,000 square foot plus beachfront home that was on the property. Although after tearing down the original home and rebuilding, they upped the value of the property to $54.4 million. The golf course I was mentioning earlier is about 3.5 acres. The grounds also include a tennis court, oxygen therapy room, a full gym, a wine cellar, a game room, a media room, and 2 boat docks. The total cost for the renovations was about $15 million. In at number 8, Kim and Kanye. Back in April of 2018, Kanye West shared some images of the interior of their hidden home in the hills. Reportedly, the couple purchased the home in 2014 for $20 million, but made extensive renovations over the years that resulted in the house gaining tons of value. The house now is worth around $60 million, but inside the home, you would never really know. From the photos that I've seen, the house looks very simplistic in its aesthetic and it has a clear attempt at minimalism. In addition to this home, Kanye also has recently purchased a sprawling ranch in Cody, Wyoming. The home is 75 miles from Yellowstone National Park and includes a restaurant, a saloon, a ranch-style event venue, a maintenance shop, an office building, multiple barns for his horses, and a state-of-the-art shooting range. On the property, Kanye also was approved to build a 52,000 square foot home along with 2 underground garages totaling up to $14 million. Man, Wyoming gets you a lot more for $14 million than it does in LA. Woo! LA, that's an apartment.
At number 7, Jocelyn Wildenstein. Imagine spending millions of dollars to look like a cat. Just sit with that one for a second and let that process. Yes, one of the most dramatic celebrity appearances, which comes from socialite Jocelyn Wildenstein, was modeled after a cat and cost over $4 million. Jocelyn started her plastic surgery journey when she decided to get work done to look like a cat because her late husband was a big cat lover. She reportedly kept a lynx as a pet and recalled that the big cat's eyes were just so perfect, and so she wanted to look just like it. Unfortunately, she went a little too far with her look and she's been left looking pretty botched, which is unfortunate seeing how she invested so much money into her looks. What makes this even crazier though is the fact that she claims that she's not done getting plastic surgery, so she's willing to spend even more money on her appearance. At number 6, Donatella Versace. I've talked about Donatella Versace and her plastic surgery a fair bit on this channel. We know how she looks following getting plastic surgery, we know what procedures she's had done, and we know that the results haven't been the greatest. Sometimes going plastic just makes things worse rather than better. But one more question regarding her plastic surgery remains, and that is, how much did it all cost? Well, though there's no exact amount, it is believed that Donatella has spent over $25,000 on trying to improve and maintain her appearance. That is a lot of money, but when you think about the results that she's been left with, it makes that high cost so much worse. She's mostly received facelifts over the years, so to think that she's dropped so much money to only go back and get more work done because the effects didn't last is actually kind of sad. At number 5, Kylie Jenner. Kylie Jenner is one of those celebrities who's considered a trendsetter. Whenever she steps out with a new piece of clothing or a new hairstyle, people just want to be like her and copy her. Because she's a trendsetter, there's pressure to look perfect all the time, and this is where cosmetic surgery came to play in her life. The one procedure that she's known for having is lip fillers. She became the it girl when it came to the big lip trend, and it even got so intense that people were trying to imitate her large lips by creating the dangerous Kylie Jenner lip challenge. On top of her lip filler, there has been speculation and theories thrown around about what other procedures she's had done. Though she's only admitted to getting fillers, it is also believed that she's gotten work done to her body to achieve the curves that she has, like her Kardashian sisters. Now, because she's never admitted to getting anything done other than her lips, it's hard to say for sure exactly how much her appearance costs, but some people out there have crunched the numbers and estimate that Kylie has spent over $2 million on her plastic surgery transformations. Now that is a lot of lip kits. At number 4, Cher. Cher is really out here like she's never heard of the concept of time. This woman does not age at all, and it's honestly a little scary. Okay, I'm getting a little carried away, but you have to admit, she looks immaculate for a woman in her mid-70s, right? Well, other than her being the queen of everything, she's also invested a lot of money into herself and her looks in order to look as great as she does. Over the years, Cher has received a neck lift, multiple facelifts, cheek implants, breast augmentation, liposuction, Botox, other injectables, and lasers, but even after all that, people still can't get over how good she looks. She's been able to get all of this work done to look younger, and yet she still doesn't look too plasticky. Well, I would expect nothing but perfection if I was Cher and spent over $1 million on plastic surgery. Yeah, it is a lot of money, but clearly it was money well spent.
In at number 3, George Lucas. The aptly titled Skywalker Ranch couldn't have been a better name for the home of famed Star Wars director George Lucas. George purchased the 47-acre Skywalker Ranch in 1974 and is believed to have spent around $100 million renovating and updating it over the years. Today's specific information about the Marin County property is pretty secretive, and visitors must be invited and pictures are not allowed at all. In fact, it's rumored that Ronald Reagan even asked to see the property during his presidency, but the request was denied. What is known about the property is it includes several buildings, a 300-seat movie theater, a separate 2-story library, an outdoor pool, underground parking for 200 people, a thriving garden as well as vineyards, and in addition to that, it is said to also have its own fire station, which is just wild. Imagine having a fire station on your property. George mainly bought the property so that he could build a large studio, but for 25 years, the residents of the area have fought with his plan because it would mean more light and noise pollution. In at number 2, Bill Gates. Although he's not technically a celebrity in the sense that he doesn't act or sing, Bill Gates is famous enough to be included in this list. It's really quite difficult to describe Bill's Medina, Washington home. This state-of-the-art lakefront estate is called Xanadu 2.0 and features 7 bedrooms, 24 bathrooms, and it spans over 66,000 square feet and includes 6 kitchens, a 2,100 square foot library with a domed roof, an exercise room with a sauna, separate men's and women's locker rooms, a steam room, and a trampoline room. Plus, an indoor and outdoor pool with an underwater music system, a man-made stream stocked with trout and salmon, as well as a theater. Due to him being a tech mogul too, there are plenty of over-the-top technological features, including rotating artwork and pressure-sensitive floors that ensures that security knows where everyone is at all times. Of course, finding your location in his own home shouldn't be too much of an issue because all of the guests are issued a microchip and a pin that tracks their location in his own house. I guess you need that if you got a big house. It also allows them to change the temperature and the lighting to their own preferences wherever they are in the home. The estate also ends at a beach on Lake Washington that consists of sand brought over from St. Lucia. In total, this home is worth an astounding $125 million. Last but certainly not least on our number 1 spot, Jeff Bezos. When it came to finding his new Los Angeles home, Amazon's Jeff Bezos left little to chance. The past 2 years, the world's richest man toured an upward of 40 properties in the Los Angeles area, having denied listings as low as $25 million. Ugh, $25 million. Gross house away from me. The house hunt came to a spectacular end in February after Bezos purchased the Jack Warner estate from David Geffen for $165 million, a record sale for a private residence in LA County. The home is 13,000 square feet and features 2 guest homes, a tennis court, a swimming pool, and a 9-hole golf course. The Warner estate was designed in the 1930s for Jack Warner, the president of the Warner Bros. Film studio, and is still one of the premier mansions built during the Hollywood Golden Era.
Starting off at number 10, we have Culture's crib. If there's one thing that Cardi spends money on, it's her family, with her daughter Culture living one of the most lavish lifestyles of any child out there. And when Cardi had her new baby, she was gifted a lavish white and gold crib and bassinet produced by K-Pesh Designs, a prominent company that caters to celebrity interior needs. And apparently the crib cost roughly $4,500. And honestly, looking at pictures of it, I can see why it cost so much. The crib is not only huge, but it's covered in jewels also. And I guess Cardi is so extravagant, Culture needs to be, napping in style. In at number 9, jewelry for Culture. And again, we got some ultra lavish things for Culture, who is probably still too young to even wear any of it. Cardi actually admitted to spending $80,000 on jewelry for her daughter. This jewelry was a diamond tennis bracelet and a pair of earrings from her mother, who wrote in the Instagram caption of the picture with the jewels, quote, "If I'm iced out, my daughter gotta be too." And honestly, when you put it that way, I kind of get what she's talking about. And even though I didn't think the Culture would be wearing any of the jewelry, she has actually been seen out once wearing the bracelet. So hey, at least it's not, just sitting at home collecting dust. And at number 8, Patek Philippe watch. Cardi isn't just spending her money on bling for her daughter, she of course spends even more on herself. But this next one was actually another gift. Her husband Offset bought her a crazy expensive piece of jewelry, a Patek Philippe watch. The matching rose gold watches are estimated to cost a whopping $150,000? And like, wow, I still don't understand how people can pay that much for a watch. Like, you can buy a G-Wagon for that amount. Crazy. Apparently Offset bought the matching watches as a gift for Cardi when cheating rumors were swirling, but it seems like the watches weren't able to patch everything up because they ended up breaking up for a few months due to the rumors. But they did get back together in 2019 officially when they were seen at the Grammys together. So I mean, maybe that helps.
In at number 7, Jay-Z and Beyonce. The Los Angeles Times reported that the power couple received a mortgage of $52.8 million for their $88 million purchase of a newly built 30,000 square foot mansion. The deal was the most expensive home sale of the year in LA, topping an $85 million sale in Malibu. Forbes recently declared the couple as billionaires with a net worth of $1.16 billion. The funny thing was that they only got this home after being outbid on another home purchased by the creator of Minecraft. That's a hard flex. With an original asking price of $135 million, Jay-Z and Beyonce got this 2-acre Bel Air compound for quite a steal. The property is comprised of 6 separate structures, with the main house boasting 8 bedrooms, 11 bathrooms, a gaming and entertainment building, a 15-car garage, as well as 4 pools and a basketball court. In at number 6, George Clooney. Although there have been rumors over the years that George Clooney plans to sell his estate in Italy, that doesn't seem to be the case based on a recent interview that he did with The Hollywood Reporter. Constructed during the 18th century on the banks of Lake Como, the home is today the perfect mix of its original charm and all the modern amenities one would expect in a house with a price tag of $100 million. For example, it has ornately carved ceilings and tile floors, but has also been renovated to include a full gym, huge spa-like bathrooms, and what's called a pizza room. The grounds are also spectacular and include landscape gardens, a pool, tennis court, a garage for his motorcycles, and an outdoor theater. However, this is merely George Clooney's summer home that he's spent time in since 2002 for vacations or private hangouts with other celebrities. He spends most of his time at his hidden mansion in Studio City that he purchased from Stevie Nicks in 1995, though the price was undetermined. In at number 5, Hugh Hefner. Hugh Hefner's Playboy Mansion is arguably one of the most notorious homes in the world. The 30-room house features a game room, a zoo, a bird enclosure, a grotto, a tennis court, basketball court, wine cellar, and a screening room with a built-in pipe organ. That's some old school stuff. Hefner originally bought the mansion for $1.1 million in 1971, but it was sold for a whopping $100 million in 2016. Despite that being about half of his asking price at the time, it was still the largest residential real estate deal in Los Angeles history. I guarantee the fact that Hugh Hefner lived there was the reason for this real estate bump in price, because this is a massive profit on that original purchase. The current owner, Darren Metropolis, actually made arrangements with Hefner where he agreed that Hugh could live in the home until his death. Darren also reached an agreement with the Los Angeles City Council that confirmed he will not demolish the house and actually intends on restoring and updating the nearly 100-year-old building. And at number 4, Oprah Winfrey. Oprah currently resides in a 23,000 square foot mansion that sits on a 40-acre estate in Montesino, California. She refers to her home as the Promised Land, and the mansion is even secluded in the hills, and despite its vast size, it is practically impossible to get very close to. The Promised Land has 6 bedrooms, 14 bathrooms, a gourmet kitchen, 10 fireplaces, 2 home theaters, 1 inside and 1 outside of course, a large guest house with a private pool, a wine cellar, and multiple tennis courts. The property is also home to lots of gardens as well as avocados and fruit orchids. In early 2016, Oprah actually dropped another $28.85 million on a neighboring property known as the Seamare Farm Estate. The expansion boasts 4 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, an outdoor pool, tennis courts, home cinema, and a lake. The Farm Estate home even has all of the equipment and stables fit for an equestrian center. While she purchased the mansion for $50 million in 2001, today it's estimated to be worth almost twice that, thanks to the addition, of course, of more land and lavish renovations.
And at number 3, Yves Saint Laurent boots. Like I said before, Cardi's looks and style are very important to her brand, so she spends money to get the best of the best when she needs to. One of these things are designer boots, with Cardi spending $10,000 on some sparkly boots. And at the MTV VMAs, where she showcased the boots, she wore a matching sparkly bodysuit. And although I could never dream of spending that much on some boots, I mean, good for her if she's able to, right? In at number 2, new teeth. Veneers are an extremely popular thing that a lot of celebrities and influencers get done. And after Cardi was ridiculed online for her teeth for years on end, she decided to get new teeth to amplify her look and her confidence. According to BET.com, she got a new set of teeth at the price of $2,000 per tooth. So she spent $40,000 to fix her whole mouth, including whitening. And even though $40,000 is a lot of money, the confidence that comes along with good teeth is priceless. So, this is one purchase that I'm pretty happy that she did. And finally, at number 1, the multi-million-dollar Atlanta mansion. And in case you were waiting for it, of course her house is going to be the most expensive thing that she has purchased. And her and Offset bought a mansion in Atlanta for a reported $5.8 million. And Cardi even showed off a bit of the house in her Instagram, showing a winery and a gun range. She also said she's been house hunting for the perfect place for 2 years, and she was so excited when they found this one. The house is 22,000 square feet, has 6 acres of land, 5 bedrooms, 11 bathrooms, and an 1,800 bottle wine cellar. And from looking at the pictures, it's clear that every inch of this house is absolutely gorgeous, and Cardi's definitely living the dream.